Rivard tomorrow?
Yes. Oh, Jones tonight.
Jones tonight?
Yeah.
So
Ryan Donato in, yes.
we're talking to Yanni Gourde. He was talking about the improved forecheck that he's seen the last couple of weeks. Is that something that you have to keep reminding the team about just because it's so physically taxing over the course of the season?
Well, it is, and we've, a couple of weeks ago we hadn't been very effective. It hadn't been a real strength of our game. We simplified it a little bit, and really just tried to concentrate on a couple different keys on it. And the guys have done a really good job with it, and it's got to continue to be a big part of our game. I mean, checking in general has to be a big part of our game. That's where we generate a lot of our offense from.
Yanni also mentioned more intentionality with the dump-ins or the chip-ins of the puck. Is that also part of it?
Well, that's where a forecheck starts, is placement of the puck. You can't always have that perfect placement. So whether it's a puck that's put into space or a puck that's rimmed, that's where your forecheck starts.
Is that something the coaching staff talks to the players about, or do they have to talk about amongst themselves the different?
Well, both. I mean, the most important is the communication between the players, and there's a basic structure in place, but guys go out and read off each other, and their communication is most important.
Yeah, everyone had been quiet for a couple games, but now it seems like they're really back to clicking. What have you seen from them?
Yeah, they were really good the other night in Ottawa. What am I seeing? I'm seeing them. They're working their tails off. They're working hard in a 200-foot sense. I thought the other night they were excellent getting out of the D zone and getting up ice. I thought they checked well in the middle of the rink, and both off the entries into the offensive zone, as well as what they did in the O zone. They played fast. They were moving, but the puck was moving. They had good success the other night. It's kind of been the way our team's, it's the way our team has been. There's been a line or two each night that's been able to step forward and have good nights, and the other lines go out and do their jobs.
These recent wrinkles to your lines, you've been pleased with them. Obviously, you've kept with them through this winning streak. What spurred these changes for you and the results?
Well, we haven't done a lot of shuffling. If you look throughout the year, we've tried to give guys, I talked about that early in the year, try to give guys some consistency, and give them, an opportunity to build a little bit of chemistry and find that success. And, on the flip side, when it hasn't worked for a night or two, and, usually, you see that with your eye, and you look at some of the results, you make a tweak or two. And that's all we've done with our group. We haven't made any, major changes. We've shuffled wingers from time to time, but for the most part, the group has been pretty consistent. And right now, I feel pretty comfortable. We can make a change or two, and guys are comfortable with each other.
We just talked about the Everly line. Were there things on the other lines that you're really appreciating with these current combinations?
Well, like I said, I think it's not a one line. Every night, it's really a different line for us. When we're playing well, our lines, we look very similar from top to bottom. So, like I said to start with, we talked about you asked about the forecheck. It's not just the forecheck. It's checking in general. When you look at the offensive production that our team has, a lot of it comes off of a sequence that starts with whether it's defending in the defensive zone, defending in the neutral zone. In one way, shape, or form, getting the puck back and then being able to turn that into offense. That's where everything starts for our group.
More difficult or easier to coach a team that has balance?
It's a different look, right? This is an awesome team to coach. I can tell you that, because of the individuals that are in there. We've had our tough times, and we've had our times where things have gone well, but this group in general works hard together. There's not a whole lot of me or I in there. It's just guys digging in and working, and that's led by guys. I think you guys talked to Jordan Eberle this morning. It's led by guys like that. By Adam Larson. I could go through several guys, right? But we've got a lot of that in the dressing room, and that's like I said, through thick or thin, that's a good group to coach.
About the Matty years, everybody's talking about his maturity for his age. Can you talk to us about that and about the impact he has on your team so fast?
Yeah, he's a competitor in everything he does, and he's got an easy way of doing it. He's very confident. Yet he's got this humility to him that makes I think he's really enjoyable for everybody to be around, and ultimately his competitiveness, you name it, like he's a competitive person. He wants to win, whether it's big or small, on the ice or off, and he's been able to. He brings he carries a demeanor around him that keeps it light. Yet when a play is on the line or the game is on the line, that he's a guy that's going to drag you in the right direction.
Burley said that Matty was kind of the spark that you guys were missing. Is it something that you would agree with?
Yeah, I think we all saw that right away when he came in for his 10 games at the end of the year last year. He was ready to be in the league, and you have to be careful with that evaluation at that time of year, in some of those situations. Yet, he handled everything extremely well, and we didn't see anything different from him right away from day one coming into training camp. He was ready, he was prepared, he was professional, and just as I spoke to, he just shows up every day and works hard. And he's had some stumbles along the way. You look through some of the games. He draws both at home and on the road. He draws some tough matchups, and he's been successful some nights, and other nights haven't gone quite as well. But he's got a demeanor that he just shows up and he's ready to go the next day with a smile on his face. And like I said, that carries you in the right direction.
What do you like in Daniel Sprong's game?
Well, you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I like how hard he's working at his two-way game. That's what's made him very valuable to us. We trust him on the ice. We've asked him to dig in and really work at that piece of his game, and he has. And the other elements of his game. He can score. Like, he's a guy that he can score at any point in time. He's got really good pace to his game. He's strong, and he shoots it probably as well as anybody. That's, for me, that's the biggest part. He's really put value into the two-way game, and because of that, he's become quite a valuable player for us.